You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Courtney Loves Dallas After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Courtney Loves Dallas After Show.
Hi guys, this is Courtney Henderson here. I'm here with Steph.
Yes, thanks Courtney. We are talking about New York and Courtney.
Yes, we are here to talk about episode 3 of Courtney Loves Dallas. Courtney loves New York City. Courtney loves fashion. Courtney loves all things fabulous. The episode starts out, she's going to New York City. She's there for Fashion Week, and she talks about how this time it's not a fun trip, it's a work trip, and how she's been to New York and to Fashion Week in the past. And we were just kind of talking about how, have you ever been to the same city for work and for play, and how different that is, and how kind of fun it is to see her like taking this leap of faith for her blog so seriously.
For her, I mean, she states that coming back to New York, when Tori's like, you've been to New York, what's the big thing? She's like, no, but this time I'm a blogger. I'm front row seats, New York Fashion Week. Yes. And this is serious. It's, you know, Tori in the cab, they're talking about, she's like, I want to see the Statue of Liberty. I mean, everybody wants to see that in New York. But as Tori said, well, Courtney said, no New Yorkers actually go and see it. It's there, you know, in their back garden.
She kind of gave her a hard time, and I was thinking, while it's true, all of us that have any historical kind of tourist-trappy places where we live, none of us go to them in our local city. But when you go visit those cities, you absolutely go. I was in Nashville. I went and saw the Country Museum. You know, yep. She's in New York, and Tori wants to go see the Statue of Liberty. She should get to. Exactly. But they were there for Fashion Week, which they went. I loved watching at that first show, it looks like, that she went to for Carmen, and sitting front row, and kind of just taking it back to, like, she's not a model, she's a real girl. With her fashion shoot when she did the D Magazine thing in the previous episode, just how she is such a real girl. And she's sitting there, like, oohing and awing and just, like, so humbled to be in the situation. And it's fun to still see that. I mean, this was filmed a year ago, and even now when I see posts and things of her more recently, I just still love that she just still, I relate to her. Like, I feel like she's my girlfriend, you know, and she lives in Dallas. And
well, she does. I mean, she's sitting there and she's like, you know, excuse me to the lady next to her, I'm the dork that takes the photo, and gets the camera out and starts clicking away. And even in their prep, when the two girls are getting ready in the hotel room.
Yes.
And she comes out in the outfits, and Courtney's like, Tori, you're not wearing that. I mean, that's tragic. And dresses her up in those pants and pulling them up, references to the camel toe.
I love those pants, though. I would wear what Tori had on before. I probably wouldn't have worn that to Fashion Week. So I will give Courtney props, finding kind of this tactful way to give her friend the runaround. I'm like, girl, like, we're here for work. You're with me. You have to, like, kind of look the part, you know? And Tori for, like, being a good sport and playing along and changing and kind of knowing, like, we've talked about when we've seen, Tori is so supportive and so loving and encouraging of Courtney when it comes to her career, and a little pushy when it comes to other things, like boys.
I mean, what we talked about, I mean, Tori is, and Courtney acknowledges the fact she's always got her back, encouraging with her career. But she's always, though, also on her case about why, you know, you're single, you've really got to try more, you got to be out there dating. Yeah. And it's like, Tori, you know, she can't do everything. The girl isn't Superwoman.
Well, maybe she can. But I think my favorite thing was when they're sitting on the bed and they've ordered room service. They're sitting there talking about boys and like Matt's name comes up or whatever.
Yeah.
And she doesn't want to have the conversation, but I'm sitting there like watching Tori give her a hard time, and I'm like, girl, aren't you single? Like, what are you doing? You're getting after her for like, where's your man? And it's like, are you single? But it's interesting because I think she's single. I think she's single when they filmed. As far as I've ever seen in like any of her social media, she's still single. But the show hasn't actually ever like acknowledged one way or the other if Tori does have a love interest.
Nor do we even see Tori, you know, with the other guys. Like
Yeah,
dating
that's
and
true.
stuff like that. I realise the show still is all about Courtney,
of course.
but it would be interesting. I think the viewers would enjoy to find out a little bit more about Tori.
Yeah, well, and I think it's hard to kind of say, like, is she giving her a hard time unwarranted because she's not practicing what she preaches, or is she like straight up going and like trying to date guys and being set up on blind dates, like she's setting Courtney up and all of that? So I don't know. I guess she has to be single though, because when they go out, the one night that Courtney gets the Bobble Bar account for the collaboration, they do go out and they meet those guys. So clearly she's single because she knew that would be on TV, and you know, you're not going to cheat on TV. Well, they're not going to cheat on TV. There's probably plenty of people that do.
Maybe.
maybe.
Do we go there?
Oh goodness, I don't know, Matt.
I mean, do we jump straight to with the ending part anyhow? With Matt, I mean, Matt's even brought up
in the middle of the episode, when they're sitting there eating room service. Well, which I loved. I mean, like Courtney, I'm not a model. I love clothes. I love fashion. But I don't think that if I was at Fashion Week, I would be eating French fries and ice cream. I don't know. I love her for doing it because it's just like, oh, that's what every single person at Fashion Week wants to be eating.
Well, because
that's what I
they've
think.
Sat there and they've watched these gorgeous models strut their stuff down the runway. They've probably been at the event. They haven't eaten anything all day, all night. They get back to the hotel. They're ravishing. They're like, what do you feel like? I want ice cream, I want cookies, and I want fries.
And I love that they own it and they just do it and they don't apologize for it at all. Because why would you? I mean, who doesn't love ice cream and French fries?
At the end of a New York Fashion Week. I mean, exactly.
and again, that goes back to like how focused she is on her career, because Tori wanted to go out. Tori wanted to meet guys, and Court kind of put her foot down in a loving, fun way with room service and this like yummy food. But they stayed in that first night and had to be up for meetings and different things the next day. So it's kind of like, okay, like Court's taking this serious. Like she's here for work. She means business, and it's so fun having watched her on the previous show, Most Eligible Dallas, that she got this show. She was kind of the breakout star, and she got this show from that. It's fun to kind of see her on her own again, and like I've said before, just taking her life into her own hands and like owning it, and like at the fashion show when the guy was so rude and he's like, let me help you with your image. Like, what would you do? I would probably just clam up if somebody came up to me and was just like, you have a beautiful face and a beautiful body, but this dress reminds me of my grandma.
Yeah, my grandmother from 1980.
Yeah.
I think the way Courtney handled it, she handled it really well.
She did.
It was, and it even showed, you know, an example of their relationship where Tori's like, no, that's just rude. Hold it, I'm going to do something about it. I mean, kudos to Tori for going and trying. I mean, the guy then, you know,
clearly
slags off and goes on about her eyeshadow and saying how unattractive or whatever she looks.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I actually kind of agree with him on the note that I hated that dress.
Yeah.
No, I hated what Courtney was wearing.
Yeah.
It looked like she just got out of the hospital and someone
I love the necklace she had on. I love the necklace that she had on the dress. I have never been good at accessorizing until kind of following her and you know, and then finding Bobble Bar with her, which we'll talk about maybe in a second with her meeting with them. But I did with you, like, I didn't hate Courtney's dress, but I loved the outfit that she put together for Tori. Like, if I was gonna go out, that is just like so my style, just kind of like simple, understated. And I loved it. And I love that, again, like Tori, she puts on her good girl, her big girl pants, and she goes and she like plays along with Court, and And as much as she's not this way, and I kind of love the whole opposites attract because they're very different, because we even see with that designer, like, she goes up and she's like, dude, no, like, you were rude. Like, you can't talk to my friend like this.
You don't do that in the fashion world. That kind of just goes. Yeah. Yeah.
And I love their relationship in that way, and how kind of supportive that they can be of each other, and yet they kind of have their own things, because I know Tori has All the Wire jewelry line with her sister, and then Courtney has the blog and everything, which it was interesting to me, because in knowing that Tori has this company, I was a little bit surprised that being at Fashion Week, she didn't take advantage of perhaps her own networking. I
know, Tori was really like, I'm just coming to literally support you, be there. Yeah. I want to go sightseeing and like, I don't know exactly. We've seen Courtney really, taking on any opportunity, and Tori just seems to be, she doesn't have that same drive. Right. Courtney's really, when you see her getting dressed up, which we both, that outfit, if you're going to rate any outfits of the night, it'd have to be when she goes for the meeting.
Absolutely.
Talking about Bubba. I loved it. And she said, she's like, walking on fire, I'm owning it now. And then, of course, can't get in the door.
I love that. But it goes back to what we've said, like the real girl. And it's those moments that you're just like, oh, I just love you a little bit more, because that would be what would happen to me.
Because I so do that. Yeah. Exactly. You're like, I'm looking good. I'm like, oh, shit. Did I just step into
Yeah, well, it's Jennifer Lawrence winning an award, and Courtney Kerr can't open the door at her big fashion meeting in New York. It happens to everybody, and it's nice to feel like, oh, I'm not the only one that does that, because if I was walking in that meeting, that would have been me. But yeah, the meeting, I love. She totally had her A game. Totally that outfit. I would wear that any day of the week, anywhere. Yeah. I love black. So the blacks and the grays.
The skirt with the belt,
everything. It was everything.
She says, she brings her Texas hair.
I love that. And I love that she just kind of owns who she is, and she likes her style, and she doesn't apologize for it. She shares what she knows and what she loves in fashion, and just kind of goes from there. And
almost a little bit too much, to the extent when she met with Carmen, and she's talking, and you can kind of see the cameras are rolling, they kind of, and hit the poor designer's like, okay, when's she going to stop talking? She's like, I love this, and I love it. And it's like, okay, Courtney, shut up.
But she got the hug, so he clearly liked her enough, and
or a hug for please, just let me know.
Get me out of here. No, but first time at Fashion Week as a blogger, there for work. I thought she did a fantastic job, and going to that meeting and just being so driven. And for me, it was cool because, rewind, so we're in December, rewind back to June, July, that's when her Bobble Bar collection came out, actually. And I followed her blog already at that point. I watched the collection come out, and that's really when I fell in love with Bobble Bar. This is actually a piece from her collection with them. I have several of the pieces. I'll wear probably one of them every episode that we do. But it really kind of gave me that connection to her, this is my friend, helping, and really this is something that works, because she wears Bobble Bar and introduced me to them. I wear Bobble Bar, and I've loved them, and going into that meeting, taking no for an answer, but seeing the collection, it was so fun to see how that process worked, because I saw the website when it first came out, and I saw the different outfits that they put together. So to see her go into that meeting
and seeing where it all started.
Yes.
I think that's a great point. The fact that any girl that's buying any of the jewelry, as you said, this started well before the show and stuff was airing, that you're now getting to see another side to it. And there's so much more connection. As well as any of those aspiring fashion bloggers, fashion merchandise buyers, they're watching this girl. I think she really, as we said, she owned that meeting. I know there's a lot more to it, but her dress, her fashion, this girls who are really interested in it, they're going to be watching Courtney, and they're watching this show, and they're getting inspiration for it. It's their dream. It's what they want to do.
And I love that. And that's one of the things that I love about these reality shows, and people can say what they want about how real they are, but never before reality TV unless you're, in a documentary or some sort of special, do you get kind of that inside scoop that we got with Bobble Bar and, with her meeting and kind of getting to see, oh, so that's what they do. Because I know, I follow a couple other fashion bloggers and that's pretty much it. And you go to their website and you're just like, okay, you took you picked an outfit and you took photos of it and you posted it online. Like, this is easy. Like, anybody could do this. But then to go and kind of see the meetings and to see her at Fashion Week and how serious she takes this, it's not just, let me grab a camera and go shoot some photos in my backyard.
This is my whole life that I work 24/7.
And she gave up a lot potentially, or risked a lot to go for this. And so it's fun to see her go for that. And then go home.
Dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
Goes there. I love Courtney though. The first thing she comes in, again, it's that real woman thing. She comes in, checks the fridge. Oh, that's off. Oh, we gotta tuck that. Yeah. The wine. Oh,
that's
thank
good.
God. The wine is good.
Courtney fashion.
Gotta have a glass. We're set.
I love that. Yep. I know. And I did. The whole time I'm sitting there like, it's going to be bad too. It's going to be bad too. And then it's like, of course it's not bad. It's wine. It's Courtney, and she loves her drinks. And I loved in the meeting, she was so herself, kind of tying back in. She's like, we need champagne, and again with the drinking, but also with the excitement and kind of the humility of, this is big for me. Like, I don't just expect or demand, or I'm not just entitled to the success.
She doesn't come across, don't you reckon, she is certainly not a diva.
No.
She does. I mean, I know people are making reference to all the real girl thing, but she just seems so genuine.
Absolutely. I think if she was like sitting here with us right now, it would just feel like three girlfriends just sitting and talking about whatever came up. You know what I mean? I do. I think that's kind of, that's why I love watching her, and I love watching the show, and I love reading her blog and seeing seeing what she's doing. And so now I'm like, okay, we have the next episode, and at the end of our episode, it talks about, or it has the phone call with Matt. And
I honestly, when she said it was Matt, we all kind of were like,
of course,
he's got to come back in some way. But the words that came out, the conversation
was pretty surprising, especially after having him here with us last week and hearing a little bit of how reality shows work and how his experience with her was, in reality TV, and just, it was surprising because now I'm kind of like, okay, are you playing for camera? Is this real?
I'm so on the fence. Honestly, after last week's episode when we had him interviewing, I was like, wow, Courtney and him really did not have a relationship, and it was all
like she made it up to sell a show.
But then you see this other side and you're like, I don't know. Yeah. Matt's got his own history and background and stuff like that.
It's interesting. It's funny because in watching her and in kind of hearing what he had to say, I love that she's kind of just plugged along anyways, and I think that regardless of how he felt or regardless of what any intention he had, I think that Courtney is coming from a genuine place, and that any feelings that she's expressing, she did have. And I definitely think that there are times in life where we date people or we want to date people, and it's more from one side.
Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Definitely. The one person is invested more into that relationship. They really have strong feelings. The other person
they think
is
it's
like,
real.
Yeah, sort of.
And it's, as much as maybe it's not a real relationship because, you're not boyfriend, girlfriend, and you're not going on dates, but those feelings can be real one-sided, and that doesn't, to me, it doesn't take away any of her experiences, any of her needing to move on, any of how hard taking that phone call is, and, do I even answer it? Because, she let it ring.
Yeah.
And for a second, I thought she wasn't going to answer it, and then it was going to show him calling back and back and back and finally answering it, or getting bored and so calling him back or something like that.
Thank God she didn't have a couple more glasses of wine. That's all I can say, and then answer it. We've all done that. We've all drunken texting or calling. Yeah.
And
no, she didn't.
Never turn out well. No, and I think that if she still has things that she wants to say, and even though she maybe hasn't talk to Tori about it, that when he called and said that the things that he did about missing her and I love you at the end of the conversation. But it's so tricky because he could say that as a friend because he's not saying I'm in love with you, but it's still kind of like, come on, man.
It's just...
You can't say that to somebody that...
Unless you want something.
Right.
I mean, it really came across with Matt. What are you trying to get out of there?
I miss you. I want to see you. I love you. Bye. And it's, yeah. If it's not malicious, then it's, what is it? I mean, I don't even know how to, what is that?
Yeah, exactly.
I would be so angry. And I guess we'll see that, you know, if they, well, we see that they go to dinner. We haven't seen it yet, but it looks like that's coming.
Yeah.
Well,
she did say, let's sit down, let's chat Wednesday night next week.
Yeah.
And go from there. But it's like coming from that huge high that she has from New York Fashion Week, everything going well, getting the job, the collaboration, flying back, and then all of a sudden Matt pops back. That can also ride with that high where she's like, wow, and now I've maybe got Matt back in my life.
Oh, but I love that she didn't tell him about New York.
Yes.
I loved that because she is, while she's still following her heart, it looks like, and meeting with him, which I 100% respect as somebody that's again like her in that real girl way, that you have to follow your heart. And sometimes following your heart's going to make you do some stupid stuff. Like maybe going and having dinner with Matt. We don't know yet if that's stupid, but it's true. Like you have to follow your heart. I mean, it's your heart. You can't control that, I don't think.
Although she's coming across like she could be the type of woman that could put that aside, love relationships, because she's so driven in her career.
She is right now.
She's really showing that for her, the fashion and blogging career and the jewelry line now, that's everything. And yeah,
it is.
Matt, you can hold on.
Yeah, and that's why I love that she didn't tell him, because it's like, no. This is mine. This is something that I've done, and you can't take it away from me. And I'm not even going to share in the success with you unless perhaps I know that, like, this, you and me and you missing me is for real. But it's also one of those, maybe she's moved on enough from him. Like, yes, there's still something lingering. She hasn't dated since him, from what Tori is telling us. So maybe she wants to move on anyways. And that's where I'm excited to see kind of where that goes. And I was so bummed that they kind of show the phone call and then the episode's just over.
And then they do next episode, and the viewing is like completely, you're like, hold on, where did Matt go? Did he just like vanish off completely?
But we're gonna see her and her mom, it looks like, dealing with finding out about cancer, and that's such a real thing. And again, you know, we see these celebrities or we see these people on television, in movies, and we think they have these perfect lives. And, you know, you go to Courtney's blog and you see these great outfits and all these links to get deals because she's connected now with these designers. And at the same time, she's just like us. She's having to deal with family trials and things.
That's the whole thing. What would you say as an actual buyer of her jewelry line and stuff that you've already got? Do you feel like you're more connected with the line and everything, finding out about her, watching the show and finding more about who the designer is? Does that make you feel like you want to buy more of her jewelry and stuff? Or
of Tori's?
No,
or of Bauble Bar.
Sorry,
absolutely, yes. No, I will say at this point, being an actress in Los Angeles, you know, money is limited, so there's only so much that you can do and buy. But that's what I love about Courtney too, is like the high-low fashion, and how she's not just Gucci and Prada and you name it, you know, way too expensive for the average person to buy. Yes, she'll have some of those designers pieces included, but at the same time, she'll be wearing something from somewhere much more affordable or a thrift shop and kind of reusing things. And I love that because I can do that. And so I right now only have pieces from Bauble Bar that are from her collection. But I had one of them that broke, and I emailed them and I was like, hey guys, I love this necklace. I want it back. It's waitlisted, but I love it. What can I do? And I kid you not, within 24 hours, they've responded. I've sent them photos. They're so apologetic. There's a new one on its way.
Yeah.
Right now, on its way. I'll wear it in one of the next weeks. And so, yeah, Courtney, from this experience, working with Bobble Bar, I absolutely will work with them and want to buy more of their stuff and support them.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have found them had it not been for Courtney. And my birthday's in August, and I asked for a Bobble Bar gift
potential
card.
boyfriends, people out there, Courtney.
I love Bobble Bar. Or any, there's a lot of stuff with Courtney. I have never been an animal prints person, but Courtney knows how to wear leopard. And
to be honest, I think they brought way too much leopard prints to the New York. I was like,
but we didn't see her wear it once.
Yeah,
that's the thing that was so funny was we see all this leopard that they've brought between her and Tori, and yet not a single outfit that we saw, at least in the episode, had any leopard. And so I just thought that was kind of interesting.
Do you think though? I don't think at this stage in the early episodes it's got to that level yet. But you know how Sex and the City got a real following for girls? We just wanted to also tune in to see what they were wearing so we can get inspiration. Do you think Courtney Loves Dallas, do you think that's going that way, that show?
I do. And the reason I say that is because, she had a whole episode dedicated to her being, at Fashion Week and getting to collaborate with a jewelry designer.
Yeah.
But I think so because as I still follow her blog, she does post what she wore from every episode. And some of them are things that she's already posted about in the past, but she's bringing them back because now we're seeing it, when she's wearing it, or things that Tori's wearing. And for me, it is fun to go back and see. And there's so many things that you think would be expensive, and you go look and they're on sale. And if she ever has something that she wears, and like if she ever has a pair of Steve Madden shoes, and they're 2 years old, so you can't go buy it in stores right now because it's 2 years old, she'll post a similar item so that you can still get the look.
Yeah.
Like in a magazine or whatever. Yeah, exactly. And because she has that source of her blog to share that information with people, I absolutely think she kind of has an advantage over that Sex and the City thing. Because you had to go search the internet. There wasn't a site that I know of, at least, that was dedicated to just every episode, like what the girls wore. If there is, I would love to know about it.
Yeah. No, that's exactly the fact. After each episode, how many shows then, like Sex and the City, do you watch? And you think, damn, where does she get those pants or those heels or something? The fact that we've just talked about one of our outfits we both loved. Yep. It was stunning. Now we're just going to jump on her blog and go check it out.
Exactly. And that's one thing I love about her. And I am sorry to hear or to see with the upcoming episode how her mom is having to face this, and that's very real for her. And I caught a little thing. There was a little something about an envelope and the affair. So they don't really touch on that. I'm a little curious to see how that plays in. Yeah. And then, are we going to see more of Matt in this next episode, or is that getting,
is that going to be like
further
4 episodes
along?
down the track?
I mean, who knows? Well, I guess we'll tune in and see in the coming episodes. But go on iTunes, like us, comment, let us know absolutely anything and everything that you like about our shows, that you don't like about our shows, because we make them better when we get your feedback, and we're here for you. We're fans of the show, and yeah, we just love you guys, and stay with us. You can follow me on Twitter at COUHEN. And Steph?
And you can follow me at Twitter at Steph_McGrath.
And you can always tweet us at AfterBuzzTV.com.
Thanks, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Oh my gosh.
AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.